Aha! Great day, people of the tube. I'm going to talk about something other than sobriety today. You know, I want to talk about sobriety because it's super important. Oh, let me get comfortable here. But I also know that you know, it's the first year so that we really struggle with the sobriety part, sobriety from alcohol or drugs or eating disorders or gambling or whatever, right? Sex. I mean, we struggle with that, and then it starts to get easier, right? But then as it gets easier, again, we have to heal the rest of us that's not doing so good, right? Because with any addiction that I've ever seen, the body gets neglected. The mind gets neglected, the spirituality gets neglected, everything gets neglected except for the addiction, right? That's what we focus on. So we have to heal that. We have to heal the body, right? And as I've said in previous videos that I used to love running, and that an ankle injury kept my running away from me. Like, it took it away. And it really hurt me. It was my escape, and it was my way of dealing with issues in my family and friends and all that kind of stuff. It was how I would get rid of my stress, right? As I would go for a run, or I'd go for a mountain bike ride. But usually the run was the thing. I don't know why. Well, it's very primitive. It's very primal of us, right? It's what we've done as humans for a very, very long time, is long distance running, right? It's part of us. And some people say, oh, it's not part of us. It's this, it's that. That's just straight crap, right? It's part of us. Every one of us, every human on the planet can run and should run, at least sometimes, right? Things I've learned along the way are the knee pain, the shin splints, all that stuff is from unconditioned. You're not conditioned, so you push it too far, too fast, and you hurt yourself. Especially the shin splints, that's a big thing. And the shoes we wear. The shoes we wear destroy our feet. They make our feet weak. They make our feet unstable. They turn off our sensors from our brain that connect to the bottom of our feet that let us know what's underneath there. They make them numb, right? It's very sad that that's what has happened in our footwear. Right? Because for millions of years, we wore moccasins, a thin piece of leather on our feet, or we went barefoot, right? That's the two things we did for like millions of years. That's how we evolved, right? Like, you think back, and I watch the movies like on the Bible, Jesus's time, or Noah, or Moses, or any of those things. They're wearing sandals, leather sandals, right? That's what they wear. I don't have mine here. I would show. Oh, I do have. I have some stuff here I can show you guys. Oh, wait, good. So let me just dig that up. I got them down here. So because I've gone over this once before, and the grounding part is grounding to the earth, and oh, sorry for bumping you guys. I got this new tripod selfie stick from Amazon, and it's just straight crap. My phone is way too heavy for it. I have like a Sonim XP Pro indestructible military spec phone, so it's pretty heavy, and this selfie stick just is not made for it, right? So it bounces around pretty easily. So but back to the feet, so what I've come to the conclusion of after years of studying this, reading books and listening to people online, and just really working on my own feet, is the shoes I was wearing again made them weak. They made them unstable. They weren't good, right? Even though I was buying decent shoes, they weren't the best shoes, but they were decent shoes. Nikes, Reeboks, Adidas, Aviva, like I'm sure we all own them. They weren't the right shoes. So as they make my feet weak, you roll your ankle, right? Because your foot isn't stable like it should. Your foot can't feel the ground and the off. So when you're running cross country running and you're on through a field or down a mountain pass trail or something, that it's not flat, right? So your foot has to be able to tell where it is in space, and if it hits something that's not level or not flat, then it has to adjust. So when you're wearing these shoes, these casts on your feet, these shoes, your foot can't tell that, right? So then you twist your ankle, right? And that's a massive one for runners, is twisting your ankle, and then knee pain. And the knee pain comes again from not having stable feet, right? You're not using the arch of your foot to push off, right? Because it's all stuck in the shoe. So once it's stuck in the shoe like that, like all those muscles deteriorate. So now you're using muscles that you shouldn't be using, right? More of your calf muscles and the muscles that help stabilize the knee, right? Like, so you're just not, it's not right. It's not good. So you need to change that, right? We should all be wearing different shoes. That these shoes they sell are not good for us. And now I'm not going to get any endorsements from any of those, but that's fine. I don't buy those shoes anymore. I only buy certain shoes, and I'll be ordering another pair here soon this summer because my other ones are starting to wear out and stink. So time for another pair of shoes. So I read some books that really made the point, right? And this one here is, you guys can see that, Born to Run. This is a really good book. It is a story. So it is a story about runners from Mexico, and I can't remember the actual name of the runners at the second, because it's been a while since I read the book. Runners from Mexico, that what they do is they take old tires and they cut it to their foot, and then they put leather strapping around to hold it on to their foot, and that's what they run in. And they run up and down the mountains through rocks and like unbelievable terrain. Because of that, they run different. They run on the balls of their feet. They kind of float along. They have no injuries. They have no injuries at all. They run for fun, and it doesn't matter if you're 5 years old or you're 90 years old. They all run. They all do it. They train the kids young. It's just part of their life. Their entire life is running. Not entire life, but a huge portion of it is running, and it's built around running. And this book is really good. Christopher McDonald does a really good job here in capturing their life to a point, and showing you how when a gentleman, not him, but somebody else, brought these runners to the U.S. to run against the U.S. runners and other runners from around the world in these 100-mile races, that these Mexicans just annihilated them over and over and over again. And and it really describes the shoes and the running shoes, like the Nikes and stuff, and it goes into a lot of detail and why that happened over the years. And again, it's like I've talked about it in a previous video, that you know they know that they're doing harm to our feet, but they make a lot of money, right? And and so they don't want to stop, and they don't want to tell us that they're doing something wrong, because then they set themselves up to be sued for all of the past footwear that they've made that they know is not good for your feet, right? Not saying that maybe you shouldn't wear those shoes if you're running on some pretty gnarly mountain trails or something, you know, but you shouldn't be training in them, and you shouldn't be wearing them every day. You should be wearing barefoot shoes, and I'll show you the two I have here in a minute. And I just want to get through these books here. So this is Born to Run 2, and this is what I'm using to help me as a personal trainer and in my life to get myself back out running. Right now that my ankle's feeling better, and my knee and my hip and my shoulder, my back is feeling amazing compared to from like 20 to 40, 20 years, right? It was awful. I'm using this. These got some drills in here, and some exercises for your feet and for your calves, and just to get you ready to run, especially barefoot, right? Now, I've been wearing barefoot shoes for 5 years now, pretty much all day, every day, except on a construction site where I have to have steel-toed shoes, right? And I regret, I pay for it. Like, I can feel the difference once I wear the steel-toed boots for a while. Again, you're putting your foot in a cast, and they can't move, and it's awful. That's the only time my foot feels like it wants to my ankle wants to twist over, right? I don't feel like I want to roll my ankle in my barefoot shoes or in my sandals or in anything else, or barefoot. But after I wear those steel-toed work boots, which are like heavy-duty work boots, they're nothing flimsy or anything. They're really good boots. They were like $500. After, you know, a few days of wearing them, all of a sudden I'm on some unstable ground, and my ankle wants to twist again or roll underneath me, and that's it, because my brain can't send signals to my feet, and they're not talking to each other. I take those boots off for the weekend. By the end of the weekend, my foot does not feel like it wants to roll anymore, right? It's that quick. So when I work for myself doing construction carpentry, and I can tell if there's danger, like I'm going to drop something on my foot or whatever that's heavy. Usually I just do light duty stuff on my own, repairs and drywall and stuff. I just wear the barefoot shoes. I have 2 pair. I have an old beat up pair that stinks like really bad, but I use them again for work and for cutting the lawn and stuff. And then I have the pair that I wear to the gym and when I go out, right? And I really should have a couple of pairs, but you know, money's a little tight for all of us, and that's all I have, right? So I use my old beat up pair the most. I just do. I just keep wearing them and wearing them and wearing them. When I buy another pair, they'll be my lawn cutting shoes and whatever, and then I'll have a pair for the gym, and I'll have a pair to go out. And I'll kind of just keep rotating as I do with everything I do, right? Everything I own. So what I got first was these sandals. These are Xero shoe sandals. There's almost nothing to these things. They're super light. There's nothing to them, as you can see. They are super comfortable. They are amazing to run in. You can run in these sandals, no problem. No problem. Don't wear these ones in the water. They sell water ones because they'll kind of stretch out here, and then they'll flap a little more than they should, and then they're not as easy to run in. When these were new, before I wore them in the water like a fool, You could run in these no problem. They stuck right to your foot. But now they kind of droop a little bit here because this is stretched out a bit. Because I was playing around in the water with them, and they're just not made for that. They sell water ones. If you can see here, this one's pretty much worn almost right through the sole of the shoe, right? And that's my wear spot. Now, as you can see here, that's where the wear is happening. That's on the ball of my foot. So that's where you're supposed to be running. That's where you're supposed to be walking. That's where your foot is supposed to strike the ground, right? So those are the Xero shoes. Again, on the past video, I've shown you these. These are Lems. They're made in China, but they're designed in Colorado, I believe. They're pretty cool. I bought them. They were the first ones I tried out, and they really fit good. As you can see, you can twist them, right? You can bend them in half. You can bend them backwards. Your foot really can move around in these things. They're awesome. This is what you should be wearing, something like this. Now, they sell all kinds of them. There's Vivos, and there's the Lems, and then there's the Xero shoes, and I think it depends on what you're doing with them. I know people that have Xero shoes that love them, but only for the gym. If they wear them out on the concrete and walking with them, they wear out pretty quick. So just to say, there's the quality difference, right? These are medium, midline. That's why I got them. They're not the best. Vivo Barefoot probably makes the most durable, longest lasting, and styles that really just look like normal shoes, except they got the wide toe box, right? If you see this here, see the toe box, right? Lets your foot splay out, your toes right here. Look, it gives it lots of room so your toes can move apart, right? If you have bunions and your toe is going sideways like that, that's because your shoe's pushing it that way, right? And so you need to relax it so it comes out, right? And so you want that. You want your toes to have a little bit of space. They don't have to be all wide and gnarly, but they should have a little bit of space in between them, right? It's super important. This is something that I think most coaches and athletes and just people in general completely overlook how important it is to have a strong, functioning foot, right? They have all kinds of exercises for your back and your legs and your arms and everything under the sun. But there's almost nothing for feet. And it's starting to get better, because of this Xero shoes and books like this, Born to Run, and people are starting to learn this stuff, right? That feet are very important. And I ignored it for many years until it dawned on me that that's part of my problem, right? And then I started looking for solutions. So I found these books, I found these shoes. There's exercises on the internet all over the place that help you with your feet, right? That get your feet strong. The connection from your brain to your foot, there's all kinds of neurons down there that detect, like I said before, that tell you uneven surfaces. Your feet can literally feel the ground before it hits it, so it knows how to adapt. And when you have them in those casts, those old style shoes with the big, thick rubber bottoms, and they're right tight, and they do make your feet look smaller, right? And so in China, they foot bind women to make their feet small and petite, but they're all squished and off and deformed, and it cannot be good for them. It's not good for us. So please consider that, right? Like once you get, again, you're starting to get healthy, whether you're an addict or not, you're starting on this path of getting health and wellness and really trying to do something good for your body. this is a thing that you can do that's amazingly good for your body. It's relatively inexpensive. It's going to give you a maximum bang for your buck, right? Once your feet are strong and stable and working properly, the rest of you, all the way up the chain, will start to become stronger and work properly. Thanks, guys. I don't want to go into too much and start repeating myself. Just try them out. They're really worth the money. I love them. I'm never going back to the other ones. You know, like I said, if I really have to wear my work boots, I will. I'm trying my hardest to not. And I'm hoping that one of these companies, the Barefoot Shoes, comes out with work boots, steel-toed, so that people at work can wear them and get the same benefits, right? Instead of going backwards for 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, where you're wearing those narrow steel plated shoes, like your toes are so squished. I hate them. I have to wear them, otherwise they won't let you on the site. So thanks a lot, guys. Like, subscribe, comment. Don't like, even if you hate the video, just tell me. Just anything helps the channel grow. I really appreciate it. Thank you.